How in the world can I know more about the Bible than you, and I'm not even a Christian?
So I was going to leave the Billy Carson situation alone. I've done a video, but then I was watching a live stream and I saw a couple of people that used to follow Billy Carson talking about how much money they'd invested in him and how they're disappointed to see what's happening. And I thought, money? Let's see what kind of investments these people are talking about. And so I go to the Forbidden Knowledge website and I see a whole bunch of stuff. They've got merch, they've got workshops and everything else. And then I stumble across this tour of Egypt. Now, I just want you to take a look and see how much this costs. So, if you want a double room per person, you're talking $10,995. And if you want a single room, if a double room is not your kind of thing and you want to be by yourself, $12,995. So we're talking a lot of money here. And let me ask you this question. As we see these clips, you tell me, would you trust this person to take you on a tour of Egypt and teach you about history? You let me know. So this clip is from a year ago on Billy Carson's channel, and you just take a look at how he says what he says with so much confidence, and then afterwards I want you to see how he responds when he's challenged on this very claim by Wes Huff.
Books of the Bible that were kept out. Did you guys know that there's a book on the Bible that's at Harvard Seminary called The Gospel of Jesus' Wife? Oh, yeah. Did you know that in the Sinai Bible, which predates the King James Bible, Jesus was never even crucified, guys? He lived on, got married, never got crucified. That was fabricated by the Roman Catholic Church.
Oh, really? Okay, so it's okay, cool. Well, let's see how he responds when he's challenged on that claim. So Wes Huff's about to teach him about this Sinai Bible, known as Codex Sinaiticus.
Codex Sinaiticus in particular is just a Greek, it's a 4th century Greek manuscript. Mm-hmm. It comes from approximately between 325 and 350 AD. And its text of the Gospels reads almost identical to the modern Greek text that we develop translations from. So my curiosity is just simply in kind of exploring when you say that it denies the crucifixion or that the crucifixion isn't there. I mean, I can go on right now, Codex Sinaiticus, and I can look up the end of, say, Matthew 27, where it has Jesus being crucified. And that's in Codex Sinaiticus, or, the John 19, or any of the other ones. So I think
Now notice at this point, Billy Carson's pulled out his phone. Yeah, that's going to be really important in just a couple of seconds. And see what he says.
My confusion is that it doesn't read any differently. So actually, are you able to pull up a website with the viewers or listeners or whatever be able to see that?
Right now to make sure I have the right the version that I'm looking at.
While he's
So remember, he made this strong claim that the Sinai Bible, Codex Sinaiticus, rejects the crucifixion. He made this claim over a year ago with so much boldness. He's talked about this on the PBD podcast. He's talked about this with Andrew Schultz. And look at how he responds when he's challenged, when he's just challenged on it. Hear his rebuttal.
Bible, where was that piece discovered?
I found the text where I was referencing. Actually, I was misquoted. I misquoted there. It's the Gospel of Barnabas.
Right. So he claims that he misquoted. It was just a different gospel. Gospel of Barnabas, a different book. And now at this point, you already have this. Make up your mind. Is he just simply misquoting, or was this actually a flat out lie? Was it a flat out lie, or is he misquoting? Does he accept that what he's been saying on all these different podcasts is completely untrue about the Sinai Bible, and does he apologize for that mistake? Or instead, did he try and weasel his way out to move on to another talking point? And just see how he responds when that point is highlighted.
It's not that there's debate about it. It's that it's a known forgery. I mean, no one's referring to the Gospel of Barnabas as anything other than...
If you say it's a known forgery, and but I'm going to go with that. Let's talk about the Old Testament a little bit and leading up in.
Let's change the subject. If you're the expert and you say it's a known forgery, I've got nothing to say. I can't counter it. We go with that. Even though I've been saying this for over a year on my own platform, even though I've been saying this on the PBD podcast, Andrew Schultz, Joe Rogan, I've been spreading this idea everywhere. But if you say it's not true, then hey, I'll go with that. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our Egypt 2025 tour guide. $12,995 per person if you want a single room. And I mean, I'm highlighting this not just because, you know, I want to get onto Billy Carson, not out of glee or pride, but because this is really important. There are a lot of people who have followed his platform because they've been told that Christians are gullible, that we've been lied to about the Bible, that Christianity is all about power, manipulation, it's all about money, pastors grifting and getting rich. And then here you have this guy spreading things that are known lies with no conviction. And then when he's very briefly challenged on it, everything falls down like a pack of cards. I mean, like Wes Huff has been on a roll with this. Like just look at this clip here that he posted a couple of months ago.
Bible, you discover he's born of a virgin birth. When you read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, you discover that he talks about he developed the ability to incarnate at will on and in any plane that he desires. I've just done the work. I've read so much information and I've been able to put together so many dots.
You didn't come up with this. You read this from somewhere. What did you read that told you this?
The Gospel of the Holy 12.
The Emerald Tablets of Thoth don't exist. In 1925, a man named Maurice Doreal claimed to have gone to the Great Pyramids in
This is something you can literally Google search. Like if you Google right now, Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and you'll see it. Like it.
Giza and discovered an artifact that he called the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. And then he produced a translation of the said document. But Doreal never actually produced any evidence of any tablets, merely told people he did. Sure, you can go on Amazon and buy a supposed translation of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, but you're just reading what Doreal made up. No one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our Egypt 2025 tour guide. Andrew Schultz, one of the biggest podcasters.
The meaning of certain
I'll give you
things.
one big translation that's off is they say, well, Jesus was crucified.
Whoa, what happened
It
to
doesn't
him?
exist in the book of Barnabas.
Says the Book of Barnabas. I think what he's referring to is the Gospel of Barnabas, which was a 16th century forgery. Yes, the Gospel of Barnabas denies the crucifixion of Jesus took place, but that's because it was written a millennia and a half after the events as an apologetic against the standard Christian beliefs of the time.
And again, like a simple Google search will reveal this.
So there are multiple historical anachronisms in the Gospel of Barnabas. It also paraphrases sections of Dante's Inferno, which was written in 1314. So we're talking about something that at its earliest is the 14th century, but is probably even between the 14th and the 15th.
And so the problem is, the question that Billy Carson never seems to ask is, okay, there's a book that seems to say something. For one, it doesn't seem like he even asks, does this book actually say it? Who knows? Did he even read the Sinai Bible? Who knows? But with the Gospel of Barnabas, there's a book that seems to say something. Let me do some critical analysis to see if that book is trustworthy. None of that whatsoever. But I'm going to go on Andrew Schultz's podcast and I'm going to share this. Like, you see how crazy it is. How absolutely ridiculously deceitful that is. And do you know what's really interesting about this whole thing? Like, not only is Billy Carson's source information wrong, inaccurate, not only is he basing his work trying to get at Christianity on lies, but the foundational theology doesn't even hold up. Like, just watch this.
90% of the people that are praying have no idea how to pray. All that begging and hoping and wishing and calling on names of deities has no power. How you pray is this. You command everything you want into existence because the power and the divine spark that created everything in this universe is inside of your body.
So, I mean, this is just pantheism, right? The idea that you are God, everything is God, we are all gods. I mean, and how do you respond to that? Well, very simply, Billy Carson, why didn't you just command all of the videos of you being dismantled in the debate to be taken down? Like, why do you need to sue people? Why did you try and suppress the video? Why don't you just command it to happen, right? And this is how you can deal with anybody who claims that we are all gods. Any pantheistic religion. It's very simple. Okay, why don't you command right now whatever you want to happen? And you can't, because you're not God. And so the pride and the arrogance in all of this is astounding. Like, even in that first clip that we looked, just look at the title. Just look at the title, right? Could the God of the Bible really be Satan? Like, that's the title of that video. The pride and the arrogance in all of this is astounding. But just as the Bible tells us, just as the Word of God tells us, Like the partridge that gathers a brood she did not hatch, so is he who gets riches, but not by justice. In the midst of his days they will leave him, and at his end he will be a fool. And unfortunately, Billy Carson has been exposed to be foolish. And instead of repenting of his lies, repenting of his grift, he's trying to shut everything down. You know, he did a 3-hour rant the other day about the debate, calling it fake, telling people he's going to sue everybody, mocking people who work 9 to 5s. I mean, when I watched that live stream, I watched the live stream a couple of hours ago, and there were people there who were talking about, you know, how much they've invested in him. These people who work their 9 to 5s, and these people who don't have a lot of money, these people who haven't got much going for them. So then to see him in that live stream ridiculing 9 to 5 workers was so damaging for these people. And then now you're seeing that for him, it seems like it's all about money. It seems like it's all a scam. And the funny thing is, many people accuse Christians, like Billy Carson and a lot of people who follow him will accuse Christians of being the grifters. They'll say that Christianity is all about power, all about dominance. The Roman Catholic Church spreading these lies about crucifixion for power and everything else. And it's like, most of the Christians in history have been persecuted for their faith. Like, the idea that Christianity is a dominant force is very recent, and it's only been a very short time span where that has actually been the case in less parts of the world. Like, the early Christians for the first few hundred years were persecuted for their faith. They didn't have time to get councils together and control what books made it into the Bible. They didn't have time for that. They were fighting for their lives, and God preserved the Holy Scriptures. Like, right now, Christians are the most persecuted people around the world. So the idea that Christians are just grifters, scammers, trying to use their power to get influence and money is nonsense. But then we see, you know, there's someone who's attacking the Christian faith, even after he's been exposed, still grifting for money, you know, selling these tours at extortionate rates, offering this forbidden. And now, don't get me wrong, you know, maybe the tour is an incredible tour. Maybe it's a wonderful holiday. Maybe it's a fantastic tour. Maybe it's a luxury experience. Maybe it's all incredible, and that is fine. And hey, you know, I've got nothing against tour guides. Got nothing against travel agencies. What I do have something against, though, is branding yourself as this expert who knows the hidden secrets about Christianity that nobody else knows, and then the minute you're challenged, you fall down like a pack of cards. And for me, that makes anything you teach questionable. Now, a broken clock can be right twice a day. So maybe there are many things that he said, and I'm not even saying skepticism is bad or you should just accept everything at face value. But we need to be able to discern between people who are skeptical and trying to find truth for the sake of truth and will go where the truth leads them, and those who see a gap in the market for skepticism about Christ and exploit that gap and exploit people for selfish gain. That is not cool. So guys, let me know. We're going to Billy Carson's Forbidden 12-Day Tour of Egypt 2025, huh? You let me know. If you're down, I'm down. And hey, maybe he might even let Wes Huff be lead one of the lectures and seminars. Who knows? I'll see you in the next video. Peace and blessings.